Welcome back to another video of the Husker Breakdown. Today, I'm going to be giving you my early prediction for the Nebraska Cornhuskers football 2026 season. So, I could have done this video earlier. I know a lot of YouTubers probably like to do it like in January, but I wanted to do it just kind of in April. Just, not like it wasn't intentionally meant to be after the spring game. In fact, I actually didn't know there was going to be a spring game until like March, but I wanted to do it here just because I think it's like January is way too early in my mind. But anyway, that's just meant to be a bit of an explanation. But without any further ado, let's get straight to it. So Nebraska plays Ohio first, the Ohio Bobcats. So Ohio, they are not a Power 4 school. They are not a very good team in my mind. I'm not trying to spend like 10 minutes explaining each team because I'm trying to make these videos kind of quick. Ohio should not. Nebraska should take care of Ohio solidly. I think they will. So that's why I think Nebraska should start off the third season in a row with a nice season opener win. I think that'll happen. And I think Nebraska is the better team. Because Ohio is not. They're just not a good team. Like they don't have like any studs that come to my mind. So I think that Ohio should be a loss. Ohio will lose to Nebraska, and Nebraska will get a nice win. Then they play Bowling Green. So this was actually supposed to be Tennessee. They're supposed to play them at home in both 2026 and 2027, but Matt Rule didn't want to do that. He said because of like renovations for the stadium, but I think he wants an easy slate for Nebraska in the non-conference, which is fine because we're not playing Colorado like we were 2 years ago. We're not playing Cincinnati like last year. So no Power 4 teams in the non-conference, which is nice. So Nebraska, they should. They should go. I'll just say they should be undefeated in the non-conference. But anyway, I do believe Nebraska beats Bowling Green, and then North Dakota. Okay, North Dakota. If the Scott Frost Huskers can beat them, which they did in 2022, 38-17, that's Scott Frost's last win, then I have no reason doubting the Huskers taking care of North Dakota at home. So. Anyway, Nebraska 3-0, just like the last 2 seasons beforehand. Then they play Michigan State, and now this is the difference. This is the difference compared to the last 2 years. Yes, it is at East Lansing. We have not beaten Michigan State at East Lansing since 2012. That would have been Taylor Martinez with that last-minute touchdown to Jamal Rule. Jamal Turner, excuse me, not Jamal Rule. I'm thinking of the running back. Nebraska completely should win this game. Yes, Pat Fitzgerald's the coach. The guy last year, Jonathan Smith, fired because, he had 2 bad seasons. It's actually even worse than this for the year before last year. So, Pat Fitzgerald, he's a solid coach. He was at Northwestern for years, and then he got fired for a hazing scandal. But I don't think he's going to rebuild them in that fast. Cincinnati did it to Indiana, is what you might ask, but, Cincinnati, don't forget, him and, all those coaches that made it to, the playoffs, whatever, were all, apprentices under, or I should say assistant coaches, under Nick Saban, and so that's why they were able to use his philosophies, and they were able to make him good, but Pat Fitzgerald was not one of them, so, I don't see Michigan State beating us. Might be close, but it should be a win. And you got Maryland. Maryland at home. So Nebraska's 4-0. Maryland at home. Maryland's. They were 4-8 last year. They haven't been to a bowl game since actually when they beat Nebraska at home it'll be 3 years ago, come 2026, or the season. And that was the last time we played them at home. Good old Talia Tagovailoa. He threw a nice touchdown, I remember, to, what was that guy's name, Ty Felton, and then 5 turnovers from the good old Huskers. Jeff Simmons responsible for 3 of them, and then Harburg and Purdy threw a pick apiece. Yeah. So 4 interceptions and a fumble that game. That was awful. Nebraska, we weren't exactly favored, but, when we had a fourth quarter lead against them, Maryland was not a good team. They weren't great. They were solid that year, but they were nothing that Nebraska couldn't handle. This year, they're not going to be as good as that team. They're going to throw it. That's what their style is. They're going to throw it. And if Nebraska can improve their D-line enough, and then we can have a good our good secondary defense, which I think we will at home, no problem. Nebraska should handle Maryland. And we're on to 5-0. And that's going to be the best start for the Huskers since, I think, 2016. But then comes good old Indiana. And don't mind you, this is Matt Rhule's 5th win of the season. So after his 5th win, we all know what happens. We usually play a team that just mollywops us. Indiana shall be that team. They did it 2 years ago. I think they're going to repeat that history. This time it's at home. It might be a little bit closer, but they might not be as good as even that team 2 years ago. But don't get your hopes up. Indiana's going to take care of us, I think. Indiana did have a lot of 7th-year seniors. D'Angelo Pons, other Roman Hemby. He wasn't a 7th-year senior, but he was solid. I don't think they'll have Fernando Mendoza. Actually, they won't. He declared, I'm pretty sure. So it doesn't matter though. Indiana is going to beat us. Nebraska is going to lose this game. They're going to move to 5-1. Yeah, that's really all there is to say. Indiana is they're just a pretty good team. Then you play Oregon. You go into Oregon, and this is a tough game. Oregon's a good team. They never won a national championship, but they've been in the runnings for multiple years in a row now. They have that coach that's pretty solid. Actually, pretty good, I should say, very good. But Oregon, it's at Oregon. I'd love it if by a miracle we upset them, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Because you know why? Because Raiola's there. That's why I'd like to upset them, but it's not gonna happen. Nebraska moves to 5-2. But then you go back home after a bye week. Well, you can come home bye week, and you play Washington. Okay, so Washington should be a win. I want to say that right now. They lost a lot of transfers. Now, they did get some, but they aren't good on road games, and that's Nebraska's advantage. And I think Nebraska's good enough that we could upset them. I think Nebraska will upset them, personally. Now, I should mention, I will do a more in-depth video, probably in August or something like that. Yeah, probably August, of this prediction. But for now, this is just kind of superficial. Just kind of giving you just what I believe is going to happen without much research. We'll see what happens. But I think Washington should be Nebraska's 6th win of the season. And Nebraska moves to 6-2. Get bowl eligibility in October. And I believe this will happen. I don't think Washington's anything to write home about. They have a good quarterback and some good receivers, but at home on the road they're a different animal. I think they lost to Washington or they lost to Wisconsin and at Wisconsin. That was not a good game for them to lose. Then they did beat Maryland on the road, and they had to travel 3 time zones to do that. They'll be traveling 2 to get to Lincoln, but I don't think they're going to beat us. So 6-2. Then we play Illinois, and the last time we played Illinois, we all know what happened. We beat them. This is Matt Rhule's first year. We beat them 20-7, but then the next year they came and got their revenge and beat us at Memorial Stadium. But that is a different topic. They don't have Luke Altmaier anymore. He graduated. They don't have Pat Bryant anymore. They don't have Caden Fegan. They don't even have their kicker, David Alano. He entered the transfer portal. So Nebraska, this is the time to snatch Illinois. Because Illinois is on a down year, whether you want to admit it or not. Every Illinois fan knows that. And when you don't have a bunch of NIL revenue to tap in, like Ohio State or Oregon, they're not going to be able to just completely rebound like that. They're going to be down, I think, this year. Then 2027, they'll come back and be very good again. I think if they're going to find another quarterback, it'll be good. But Illinois is, they're going to lose. I think Nebraska moves to 7-2. And, that'd be the second time in a row we've beaten Illinois at Champaign if we win. Then we play Rutgers. At Rutgers, good old Piscataway. And the last time we played them at Piscataway, we beat them 14-13 by 1 point with Casey Thompson, and that would have been with Mickey Joseph at the helm because Frost had been fired. That would have been the 2022 season. And, I think Rutgers, they lost their quarterback, Nathan Kaliakmanis, and they've lost other transfers, and they didn't even make it to a bowl game last year. They were better 2 years ago with, Kyle Monangai, but they're not going to be forced to be reckoned with, even at Piscataway. Nebraska won't lose this game. They should move to 8-2. Now, before you think I'm getting optimistic and be like, hey, why are you predicting all these dubs? Isn't Nebraska, they lost Raiola, they lost, all these players, whatever. Okay, look here. I think Raiola was a necessary loss, and I think that right here, Rutgers, think about it. Rutgers is not a good team. Maryland, Michigan State, they are not a good team. Like, they are not. These are one of the 3 worst teams. Then as for Illinois, they're going to be on a down year. Washington, I don't think they're going to be as good, personally. Those are reasonable expectations. I think anyone, I mean, look at it. And then obviously 3 non-conference. That's simple. But now let's get to Ohio State. Ohio State, they're going to be a loss for Nebraska, easily. I mean, yes, they probably lose, like, Julian Sayin, I think. Maybe he's a junior, I can't remember. Like I said, this is a superficial prediction, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, Nebraska's not gonna win. I mean, they almost beat them at Ohio State. That was actually crazy. They had like a fourth quarter lead, like 17-14 or something crazy like that. But it's not gonna happen here. I think Ohio State's gonna squeak. Well, not squeak. They did squeak us there, but they're not. I think Nebraska's gonna lose. We might be able to play up to them, but it is at home. And I think the last time we played them at home was 2021 with Frost, his last full year, and we lost to them by 9. That was like the 3-9 year, really weird year. But yeah, I don't see Nebraska winning this game. I think Nebraska moves to 8-3. And then we play our rivals again, Iowa. I can't predict Nebraska to win. I can't. I was very disappointed when we lost them the way we did last year. Now they do, of the amount of returning production, they have the least amount. So that is something. But you know, Iowa, they develop. I mean, it's gonna be stinky. I think they have like maybe 20% returning production. They lost a lot of players in the portal. They didn't get a whole lot of good ones. But Iowa, yeah, I mean, at Iowa City, we do play better at Iowa City than at home. We haven't beat them at home since 2011. We did beat them in 2022 at Iowa City. I do think Nebraska will lose this game, though. I just think, because that way I'm not disappointed. If we win, great. I think we should win this game, but I'm not going to, because it's our rivals. They always play up against us, etc. And they always improve during the season. That's one thing. They do start off bad. Like, that's just how they play. But then they end up playing very good by the end of the season. So, anyway, guys, yeah. 8-4 is what I have Nebraska going right now. As, you know, season progresses, the offseason progresses, I do believe that I will have more information to make a much more educated hypothesis of a prediction. So I do believe that 8-4 is pretty reasonable. So that's what I believe. Anyway, yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for me today. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys, let me know let me know what you think the Huskers will go, or like what the record will be in this upcoming season. Like, will it be 8-4? Will it be 7-5, 6-6? Will they even make a bowl game? Let me. I can't even speak today. Sorry, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.